Hey students, today I'm going to walk you through about lecture 6. There are a few things you need to know before you can play around with OO, which is Object Oriented Programming. The first thing you need to know, the class has no set of information. This one is the class. View is the class. From where the class is from here, public class view. It is separated into another Java file, and in the Java file, right, we name it as view. This is the view, and inside here got all the code we are required to use as object-oriented programming. So let's go back to our main.java. In our main, right, we create a class. No, not create a class. We create an object with a class of view. This view, right, it has no information. But an object, right, this is an object do have the information. And what this object store? This object will store this type of information. Let's read the second line. Object does store information in the form of the values stored in the class field. So what is a class field? Example, view something class field is equal to new view 4. This thing is a class field. This is a field, or just call it as a class field. This class field will use to be store information in here. Example, we access this one. The first one has this information. This is just an initialization. Later I'm going to show you what this code do. After understand this, right, we are going to look at this one. This is our code. First, I'm not going to show you this command first. I'll let you familiarize with the code. Let's go through the code before looking at the command. The first thing, right, public static final. We can see there's a public in here, and then we got another private in here, and then the command say there's a constructor. This is a constructor, and then there's an alternate constructor doing this. What is this? It's also named as view, right? Same as this one, it's also named as view. So what's the difference? The difference is this is just used for overloading. What is overloading? Overloading means how should I call this? A submodule, right, with the same names, but the argument is different. Java support this overloading, so we just call this as alternate constructor. So I comment as overloading. And then there is another called as copy constructor. What the copy constructor do? Copy constructor is just another overloading. Let's call this as a third one. Because the first one is this one, first one, second one. We will call this as a third one. Let's call this as third overloading. So what this do? This is just getting it import the object, right? The object of view. It import the object of view, and it just set it to the size, set it to the air pressure. What is this? What is this thing? Manufacturer. What is this rim type? What is the size? This thing is this one, private class field. This is the private class field. We set it to the private class field. Copy constructor, view, public view is equal to view. Notice, right, every constructor don't have any return value. Let's look at what this do. A copy constructor do. A copy constructor import a view, then they export the address of new view object, and then assertion, it creates an object with an identical object state as the import. This will be, I believe this one will not be just used like this. So this is the mutator. What is a mutator? Mutator, right, is also known as a setter, meaning you set value to a mutator. Mutator is used to set value. Then you just set anything when you import the thing, right? And you set it here. Import it as an argument. So the mutator is just set value, set value, set value, set value, set value, and then the mutator end here. We are going to explore the accessor. Accessor refers to the value stored in a class field. Accessor is also known as a getter. Used to retrieve the value stored in a class field. Class field, right? Class field is this one. Class field is this one. This one is called as a class field. Private something something. This one is a class field. You can say class field is just as a variable. Where were we just now? Okay, in here, right? Get size, we return the size. Get air pressure, rim type, and under the category of accessor, right? Under the category of accessor, we have another two things. We have equals. Equals used to check if the object is similar. And I'm not sure if clone is the same or not, but I will go through it. And also string is also inside the category of an what we call as a getter. A getter also known as accessor, right? Okay. And then these are private submodules. This submodule is used to perform tiny tasks. After we explore all this code, right, let's look back at the comment. I know these terms are very confused in the beginning, but you will get used to it. There are 5 things you need to know. 5 things. There are 5 categories of methods in a class. There are 5 categories. Not all categories are required for every class. However, you are required to use all these 5 and understand this in this unit. The first one is constructors. What is a constructors? A constructors is a method, module, or submodule used to create an object. It used to create an object. Just now I said, right, what is an object? An object is this one. This one is an object. This one is an object. Or we can call this as a... I know this is confusing, just don't look at this first. This is an object. It is a method or submodule used to create an object. A constructor is just a submodule or module or methods used to create an object. Strictly, there is no argument involved, meaning, right, you don't import things. For example, this is a constructor, right? You don't import anything at here. Can you see that? You don't import anything. And you don't return anything. There's no return. Only copy constructor. Copy constructor use argument, import an object of the same class. Inside everything in here. Let's look at accessor method. Accessor method, also known as interrogative methods, also known as getters. It get the values, right? It get the values in here. It get the values in here. Because normally, right, you can't access the value in here because it's declared as private. So what you do? You use an accessor. Use an accessor. The accessor will get the values, right, and store it in a class field. Accessor also return the value, including after calculation. Just now I said, right, equals and toString, right, is also under the category of accessor. And the third category is Mutator. Mutator, also known as informative methods. It's also known as setters. It modifies class field value. If you want to modify the class field value, right, you use a mutator to perform the task. And mutate just means change in English. If possible, right, whenever you use a mutator, you need to validate the data imported. Let's look at the mutator again. Where is the mutator? Here is accessor, right? Example, set rim, right? If validate rim, example, in rim type, right, is the import argument. It validate first. Validate rim is another submodule, right, in the bottom. Validate rim here. So anything if you want to use in your mutator, right, if possible, you try to validate it first. Example, if user import a null value, right, you don't want to use it. Or example, you want a string, right? If you use a number, you don't want to set the value, right? You don't want to set the value. That's why we validate first, because Mutator will use to set the value and modify the class field. Class field is this one. And there's also doing methods. It is not, I don't have any much information in here. And also we have private methods. Private method is just now what we see. Like example, the below. Here are the private methods. Just a private submodules. Okay. Always remember, the steps or order of the structure must be always consistent. Consistent. I don't know how to spell consistent. Example, you declare your class field constant first. This is a constant. You declare a constant first, and then you declare the class field variable which are global to the class. Global to the class means this is private, right? Only this class have access to this class field. The first one is declaration of class constant. Constant is this one. And then the second one is declaration of class field. Class field is this one. And then the third one is declaration of constructor. Constructor is this one. You declare a constructor, and then the fourth one, accessor method. Either you do accessor first or you do the mutator first. If you do mutators first or accessor first, make sure you do it very consistently across all your practice or your workshop. And then lastly, doing methods. Okay, let's look at this. This is known as a class constant. Notice the word final. When it's final, right, we cannot change the value. So it's also known as a constant. So it's declared as public static final. And then secondly, we declare a private class field. A private class field will be private, using private. You don't use public, yeah? Use private. Private. And this private is only accessible by this class lah. Then followed by the constructor. The constructor is just now what we said. In this, right, you just initialize the class field. You don't set anything. Just set the default value. And then there's an alternate constructor, which is pass. If you receive an argument, right, set user specify the size, pressure, rim, in Mac. Then you use a what do you call a setter or an mutator. Like example, right, if you want to pass an argument, then you use a mutator to set the value. Copy constructor. So what this view do? This view would import a view in view, and then set the size in view, set pressure, rim type, manufacturer. This thing would most likely would just copy it to the address of a new view object. Size is equal to inView.get size, a pressure. This actually would be used later. This is the mutator. Mutator again, mutator in here, until here. Then we have a bunch of accessor. Inside accessor we got equals. We use clone. This clone, right? This clone, what it do is it just return a new view size. This is calling the third overloading. The third overloading is just now this one. Where is it? Yeah, this one. It's calling this one. Can you see it? The wheel import calling this wheel in wheel. Can you see that? Wheel this is calling this one. So messy. This one. Just so strange. It can set the size directly. Copy constructor. Public to string, and you return the string. Validate pressure, validate run. This basically concludes everything you need to learn. Easy? Easy, right? Okay, not very easy for me too. So what you do, right, if you are calling this, right, size, air pressure, rim type, manufacturer, when you call this, right, it would be, when you call this, right, wheel in wheel 1, what you do, is set to calling this one, wheel 1 object. What is the wheel 1 object? The wheel object, right, is this wheel. Is the object. So you need to know this will work. If you will call it like this, it will work. Just know this is a copy constructor. And I hope this tutorial can make you easier to understand it. And I see you next time.